It's been another exciting year of football drama around the globe. Pep's City won the treble, Spain were crowned world champions, and Messi moved to Miami. It's time to take a look back at some of the biggest stories of 2023.
Hello there and welcome to Football Now. 2023 is coming to an end, and with it another exciting year of football from around the globe. The last 12 months has seen drama, passion, heartache and elation as the world's biggest sport delivered a year filled with incredible moments. So let's remind ourselves about another action-packed ride, beginning with Spain, who were crowned champions of the world in Australia.
A tournament plagued with preparation controversies for Spain actually resulted in them winning the Women's World Cup for the first time. Midfield maestro and eventual Ballon d'Or winner Aitana Bonmati won Player of the Tournament, as La Roja defeated England in the final and made history. They became only the second nation to win both a Men's and Women's World Cup.
I think it's hugely significant, and what they did was truly extraordinary, and I don't think that can be understated. What they went through, what these women have been going through for many, many years. We're not talking about just a fracture between the players and the coach and the coaching staff and the players in the federation, but there were also divisions within the squad itself. And I think the fact that we're able to say, well, we're going to prove all of you wrong, and we're going to do this for ourselves more than anything else, it's very much a source of motivation, I think, for a lot of people, not just young girls, but young boys as well. And I think anybody really in life to say, well, you know, in the face of very severe adversity, you can overcome it and achieve that which you want to achieve and your big goals.
History was made in the men's game too, as Manchester City became only the second English side to lift the domestic treble of the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Champions League. The European Cup had evaded the citizens for so long, so finally lifting that trophy back in May meant so much to their fans.
Yeah, it was massive. Obviously, City have been on the rise since the new owners came in 2008, and the big goal I think was always the Champions League. First few years they really kind of didn't buy into it, I think, as a club, but then slowly but surely I think it became like, well, we've dominated the Premier League, this has to be the next big thing to be an elite club. The fans, the atmosphere was unbelievable. And yeah, it was quite an emotional one because a lot of City fans never thought maybe they'd see the day with their team, champions of Europe. And the fact that it was a treble as well, which, matches that achievement from the rivals across the road. And yeah, it was just a special end to an unbelievable season.
Now, it's fair to say that one nation has taken the footballing world by storm this year, as Saudi Arabia spent big in the transfer window, signing many of the game's most famous names. The Saudi Pro League was second only to the English Premier League for money spent in 2023. €954 million they paid for new talent. It's a year which has changed the future of the game forever.
Well, I think Saudi Arabia rocked football last summer with a highly ambitious window, and it's just the start. People will focus on the spending around $1 billion, but this is window one. And now we have to watch how the project develops. And it's not just a star name project. It's also about bringing in younger players, developing Saudi players, and ultimately growing a grassroots strategy as well. And that's not just for men's football, but women's as well. So I think that in 2024, and definitely in January 2024, we'll see a slowing in terms of the volume of recruitment, and we'll see an increase in terms of the investment on all of the other parts of the game, the less unsung parts of the game. So then by 2025, Saudi Arabia will have newer stadiums, better stadiums, stronger women's game, an overall standard that's higher. Make no mistake, this is very planned, this is very patient, and star power will always be a part of it, but we may not quite see a window like last summer every single time the transfer window opens.
So it seems that Saudi are very much here to stay when it comes to making their mark in football. But that's not all. Let's take a look at some of the other moments to make the headlines in 2023.
It was a big year for football in Africa, as the inaugural African Football League was hosted in October and November. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns won the first edition of the tournament, which is expected to expand from 8 to 24 teams next season. Napoli celebrated history by winning Serie A for the first time in 30 years. Stars such as Victor Osimhen and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia dominated the division, lifting the Scudetto as the Italian league saw its fourth different winner in 4 years. Three huge clubs around Europe have had 2023 dominated by financial troubles. Juventus and Everton both received points deductions for charges related to finances. And despite winning their first domestic title since 2019, Barcelona had to sell several of their highest earners to continue operating under La Liga's imposed spending cap. Ex-Barca legend Lionel Messi was linked with a return to Spain, but instead chose to move from PSG to Inter Miami in one of the biggest transfer stories of the year. His arrival was a historic moment for the MLS, as the USA began to build up to co-hosting the World Cup in 2026. His lucrative contract involves a base salary of $12 million, along with equity in the club and revenue sharing with brands such as Apple and Adidas.
An incredible year filled with unforgettable moments comes to a close then. That is it for Football Now in 2023. We'll be back next year to bring you more stories from across the globe. Do let us know your thoughts at home using the hashtag FootballNow2023, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.